I believe the last session is the one that Jensen died and we met a new character. So Winrel revealed some more of her background and ended up kind of off the beaten path for part of the time and missing the intro of the new character. But then they found her by the farm or by the vineyard, and Dimitri helped carry her essentially inside to heal up and be able physically to transform back into her human uh, look. And she was pretty quiet and reserved the rest of the time, kind of just dealing with the news of losing her wife within Barovia, who she didn't even know was coming or even knew about Barovia. Also, a lot of guilt, of course, because she is assuming that her wife came to try to rescue her, which is the truth. So
Yeah, what a way to have such news revealed to you. Understandably devastating to Winrel, and a very good social play, I think, last session. Thank you. Go ahead and take your inspiration. We'll see you next. Next will be Dimitri, who got to play Witness and the accidental revealer, perhaps. If you don't mind continuing our recaps.
Yeah, I think Dimitri was a little surprised at the entire thing. He kind of probably would have liked to reveal such a death in a more, a little bit nice. He feels a little bad about it being as blunt as it was, but I think it was more me. So Dimitri himself was a bit confused about the whole thing. He's like, "Oh yeah, that person died," not putting two and two together until it was a bit too late. Um, yeah, it was a really big social session. Both Dimitri and Winrel revealing things to each other about their pasts, and then saying goodbye to Jensen and having that nice moment at the the vineyard of burying Jensen, and some nice words were said. Now trying to get a bead on this Nessa uh, elf lady who just was plopped in front of us by some other elf, and yeah, and I think we ended off in the vineyard, and we're gonna make our trek back to Craig in order to check on the children, and then also have a sit down with the Baron and Baroness now that we've done both of their tasks that they asked us to do.
Yeah,
and Winrel really appreciated that Dimitri didn't even remember her wife's full name, even though she died in battle with him.
Yeah, granted that was that's the crappy part. He's like, because he only knew her for like the travel time there and during the house, so it's not like they got super close or anything too, which is like even worse.
there was one particular really beautiful moment of mystery and dots connecting that happened in your true moment on top of the Yester Hill, where Winrel had asked Dimitri who he had seen at that spirit procession and the church graveyard at the village of Barovia, and you said your wife, and that was the spirit that came into the window. and that led to another. It kind of led you to reveal some stuff as well, but not knowingly, you had also seen the spirit of Winrell's wife, Alaquin, at the very end of the spirit possession, kind of going up to Castle Ravenloft. I thought that was just such an awesome moment of connection.
Oh yeah. That was the same night, wasn't it?
Yeah, something happened. Something happened, and so Winrell didn't see her, but Winrell technically could have easily found out right then.
Yeah.
But I can't. I like rolled a bad perception, or something happened that like I ended up not there at that time.
Yeah, you guys were like on lookout towards the Burgermaster's mansion to make sure, to trigger the trap or something you had set. It was just such a great moment of coming together, I thought. Yeah, thank you. Go ahead and take your inspiration as well, Dimitri. And yeah, we lost Jensen. Nisia, do you mind closing out our recaps?
Certainly. So yeah, obviously, Jensen had a chance to fall heroically in battle. Strahd did extend a very warm invitation to his place that I think the troop is having interesting times coming to terms with. Yeah, the reveal, the plot, the character reveal on the backstory for Winrell, I thought was extremely well done, and very very tactfully well played by both Dimitri and Winrell. I liked her kind of rage running through the forest and probably slaughtering some things, which may or may not come to pass here for the group later on. The moment with the Wizard of Wines and the overall and the burial of our fallen friend Jensen Chesterwind, long may he rest. I thought was especially beautiful. Having a chance to kind of jump in from that and play with Serena there, kind of vowing some additional vengeance on his behalf in memory of Jensen's more combative futures and more competitive nature on the battlefield with both Serena and at sometimes Dimitri for kill counts. And yeah, we got to meet a very pale sort of almost ethereal sort of looking elf, a dusk elf of kind of the Barovian area. And you learned just briefly from her that she also has kind of a blood vendetta against Strahd for having slaughtered some members of her village, and more specifically being the cause of the death of her sister. So she's currently along for the ride as temporary alliances go, and hopefully we'll see how tenuous things become.
Yeah, Jensen was a serious loss, I think, but the addition of Nisia is a pretty interesting one, and I'm curious to see how it plays out and how she continues to interact with the party. It seems like both sides see a bit of use in each other, and we'll have to see if that's true or not. Thank you. Go ahead and take your inspiration.
Hey, Lennon, I don't know if you know, but you cut out.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I heard up to Nisia's intro was an interesting one, and then after that.
Yeah, I think both sides definitely see some use in each other, between Nisia and the party seeing Nisia. So we'll have to see if how they perceive each other works out or not. Sorry about that. I think my thumb kind of slipped off my hotkey. Go ahead and take your inspiration as well, Nisia. And any questions before we move back into session? Cool. So, as we pick up, I'm going to take you guys to the big map. We pick up the morning after Jensen's burial at the great-grandfather tree next to where they bury other Mardikovs. A great honor these vineyard owners and workers are showing to you all. The respect they have for Jensen and your lot. But we've decided what's next. Well, we've decided what path we're going to take next. And after a bit of discussion, it seems the best path forward is to Crake. Does anyone have anything they want to do with the vineyard before parting ways with Davian Mardikov and his children and grandchildren?
I'm good at the moment. I think I'll thank them for letting us stay, and I'll say I'm looking forward to getting some more wine when they have it.
Indeed. Oh, no, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say before leaving, someone might have just sort of looked, if they were looking out over the vineyard, might have seen Nesia very momentarily and very briefly kneeling over Jensen's fresh burial site and looking like maybe she placed something down on it, and then kind of quickly walking away.
Elward probably wouldn't be too curious in this and just kind of wondering why we're taking so much time to be sentimental. Serena definitely kind of perks her ears up and maybe makes a mental note to ask about it later. But Davian kind of chuckles at your comment, Dimitri, and mentions that it seems like wine will be in production sooner than expected, and if that you come across the other magical seeds, they will gladly take them and produce wine, and perhaps more reward will be in stow for you. But sends you off, maybe some fresh rations, and we head out. Winrail, do you mind rolling a d20 for our random counters as we travel a bit? Oh no! Good way to start the session. Roll a d12 plus a d8 for me, please.
Time for a random deadly troll encounter, right out the gate.
I only need 5,000 experience. Come on.
Oh, actually, sorry, Lennon. I guess I probably should have asked. Are we pseudo role playing Pie Guy and Serena for the evening, or are we assuming, or should we assume that like someone stayed behind at the Martikov?
Oh no, they're following you to Crake, so we'll roleplay them at least to Crake.
Gotcha, fair enough.
So I'll give you guys control over. Well, Elward's a bit complicated. I'll give one of you guys control over Serena, and then I'll roleplay, or I'll do Elward.
Yeah, I don't mind grabbing. I'll volunteer to kind of run Serena for it.
Okay, wow. As we kind of leave the vineyard ground.
Are we getting sucked south? Lennon, you're cutting out.
The stupid zoom tool is like freaking out. 1 second, let me see if this will work. That is not good. Okay. I have no clue what happened. The zoom tool update is clearly wonking me up. But it's like as I was trying to drag Navi token, it was dragging it to south. I've never had that happen, so I apologize. But as we leave,
Okay. Oh yeah, I did notice the zoom button in the upper, the zoom bar in the upper right is new. I noticed that.
yeah, I haven't really played with too much, but if you go to your settings now, it has all this optional like use scroll to pan, and it has like new zooming options. And this is the second try at updating the zoom stuff. I don't know why they even updated it in the first place. It seemed perfectly fine, but Roll20 does these things. But I think it should work out fine. But sorry about that little blip.
Dude, I thought that was just part of the random encounter.
You magically get dragged back to Yesterhill. Yeah, but as we kind of begin to exit the vineyard, you notice that your presence is not really going unnoticed anymore. This dreary land has not only taken a toll on you, but you've taken a toll on it. Ravens follow you, keeping a respectful distance. You notice these ravens aren't the Martikov, but some other species. But as they kind of swarm as you leave the vineyard, their numbers increase to 20s and 30s. But as they kind of swarm above you, a few hundred feet up in the air, you hear one of them call, perhaps, "Careful, careful! Mm, Hag, eyes on you! Careful, the hag!"
Nesia is gonna cast mage armor on herself.
I'll pull out Matilda and can I make a perception check to see if I see anything?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, you look around kind of the edge of the vineyard and up into the sky, and you don't see much. But what you do notice is almost like some of the scarecrows that were scattered throughout the vines seem to shuffle and move a bit. And then you even see one kind of dart off across the path and into the woods.
Well, that's not good. It looks like we're going to have to be keeping an eye out for animated scarecrows.
I don't react in any way.
Okay, yeah. We move on kind of down the path. As we kind of get to the edge of the woods, there's a fence trailing the wood line, and you notice that 7 of these scarecrows have kind of perched up against the wooden fence and stare at you as you move past. They seem inanimate, they're unmoving, but they are perched against the wooden fence as we're continuing down the trail. Do we react at all to this?
What fence is this on?
So the fence is on the right side of the path, kind of trailing the woods, and there's 7 scarecrows kind of perched next to the fence, and they just stare at you as you walk by.
Yeah, before I would walk by them, like in front of them, probably take like a shot. I literally just saw one. You said one ran from the vineyard across the road, so they'd be on the right hand side of the road.
Yep, I was rewarding that 20 perception. Cool.
Yeah, before I even got up to them, I would totally
Go ahead and position yourself on this map where you think you'd be, like, before you fire. To the left is north.
Okay, and we were coming from the south, so yeah, I'd be over there. I mean, I'd probably be. Well, I'm not sure how far back. Like right when we noticed them, I would probably shoot.
Okay, yeah, kind of breaking in through the tree line. That's really fair. Where do the others want to be? Serena will be kind of up. Elward will be here, and he'll drag out his puppet.
I'll be trailing. So wait, we're going. Have to be here then. And just like, seems like I have no idea what's even going on. Like, just like not even there.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, where do we see? Oh, there we go. Sorry, I didn't see the scarecrow tokens at first. I was like, where do we see these?
Oh, they were going to catch you off surprise, but Dimitri caught one of them and was not surprised. So go ahead and start rolling initiative, guys. As Dimitri gets ready to fire their gun, you see that the scarecrows in unison turn and stare at you with a deathly stare. Each one of them, you notice the heads of the scarecrow, as they kind of get a good look at them, are made from a human skeleton. Let's see. So I'm going to give you control of Serena, Dave.
Sounds good.
Okay, looks like you already got her.
Yeah, I have our character sheet up.
I don't think she has alert. Does anyone have alert? Or can't be surprised?
I do.
Dimitri.
Okay, cool. Well, you were going to be good in either way. And new battle music. Let's see what happens. Oh, actually, that's not what I wanted to do. But we'll just go with it. There we go. Dimitri, so the first round, everyone's surprised except Dimitri and the Scarecrow. As Dimitri pulls his gun and gets ready to fire at one of these Scarecrows, what do you do?
That's why. I didn't realize my music volume was down. I was like, why do I not hear the new cool battle beat? Yeah, I don't think I could get a piercing shot off. This is a fence right here.
Yeah, it's just like a picket fence. A picket fence. A wooden fence, sorry. They're protesting.
Yeah. You know, I was just gonna take a shot at one, so I'll just take a shot at this first guy, right there.
Cool.
Sure, why not? Let's make it a violent shot. One.
A 14 is definitely a hit as you fire out. The Scarecrow shatters a bit, but is still kind of standing upright.
Alright. We'll just make this one a normal shot then.
That is a hit as well.
Yeah, minimum on the roll. And then these guys don't seem super tough at the moment. So I already have my gun drawn. I'll draw the dagger just to get ready for if they move in close, and then
Okay.
yeah, the done button's still not working for me.
That's so weird. I'm sorry, man. Maybe I have. Let's see. Let me try this. No. I have no clue why. Serena is surprised. The Scarecrows go. The first one kind of got blasted by the gun. Kind of turns off the fence and kind of hops. As it gets to here, it stares its cruel eyes directly towards you, Dimitri. I need a wisdom saving throw.
Anyone want inspiration?
Yeah, you're not
Didn't-
frightened by this at all. It's you've seen much worse than this creepy scarecrow. Another one comes down, and let's see. This one will stare at. We'll just go Serena. It'll stare at Serena. If Serena will give me a wisdom saving throw, please. Yeah, she also has experienced much worse than this in her time in Barovia, and is not frightened. The next scarecrow does the same thing, hops over the fence, moves closer. This one will stare at Nisia. Can you give me a wisdom saving throw? Nisia, as you look into the scarecrow's eyes, the empty sockets of the human skull, it seems to kind of penetrate some of your inner fears. In fact, so badly you're frightened that you lock up and are paralyzed. I'm just gonna move your token for real fast so I can put the paralyzed thing on. There we go. The next one moves and it stares at Winrel. Winrel, as this eyes stare at you, give me a wisdom save, please. You two are quite. Maybe your just nerves are shot from the news you've recently endured, and that also brings you to paralysis. The next one is going to dash up. So are the other two in the back. And that'll end that turn order. Dimitri, it becomes your turn. As now no one's surprised.
Yeah, let's all right, just where I am, I'll take like a 5 foot step, and then fire over Serena's shoulder and do piercing shot twice into the 3 that are right there, right in front of Serena.
Go for it. Gonna use her shoulder as an aim. Yeah, you fire through and it splits into the first scarecrow.
That's for the first piercing shot for all 3.
Breaks through and hits the second one. And then breaks through and hits the third one.
And then this is the second piercing shot.
Oh, I see. You're firing twice. Hold on one second. All right. Yeah, indeed. The second shot fires out, and you blast into the first one, second one, and third one again.
And then yeah, why not? Let's action surge. So I don't have any more grip points though, but I'll just fire right into the one in front of me, or right in front of Serena. Sorry.
That is just barely hit, as these kind of wobbly constructs are quite easy to hit.
All right, and then one last shot on. Try and take it down.
So close, but the scarecrow is ripped to shreds. And you kind of see its tar on its body is kind of falling apart, but the humanoid skeleton, skull, is still kind of burning with rage.
All right, yeah, just gonna hold my dagger tight because now I'm out of rounds. But I'll like take a 5 foot step back, so I'm like I'm a bit off the map. And that is my turn.
Serena's turn, as she's face to face with one of these battered scarecrows.
Serena's gonna go ahead and take a swing with her. Oh, what do we got here? With her rapier.
That is a hit. And as she stabs into this scarecrow, dashes it apart, it falls to the ground lifeless.
Serena's gonna go ahead and take a step up, step on the hay, and she'll take a swing at the one that Dimitri also impacted with his attack.
Uh, 19 is a hit. As Serena strikes directly into the scarecrow, it stumbles a bit, but keeps its stance.
Sorry, just reading a couple of her attacks here. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Yeah, Battle Master. Well, it's like essentially like Battle Master, but also Rogue. Serena's got a bunch of stuff going on. Winrail, did you hit level 6 yet?
I was gonna say I didn't level up. Now that I think about it, I did. I should have leveled up, but I didn't because I should have during the long rest after. Did we have a long rest after the whole?
You would have at
Yes.
the
Okay.
vineyard.
Yeah. I'll do it during the break.
Okay.
Serena's also going to go ahead and expend her action surge and do another rapier.
11 is a hit. And she blasts that scarecrow into smithereens as well.
And she will take one more step up into this space and expend her last. Oops, sorry, double clicked it, just the first one.
Yeah, indeed, that is a hit. And shatters a good bit of the straw and wood off the scarecrow.
All right, and after that strike, you'll see her take a bit of a defensive posture as she passes her turn.
Scarecrows go. A few of them kind of rush to the attack the paralyzed, but one of them is going to focus in on Serena. This one here, just across from you, Serena, is going to stare deeply into your eyes with his menacing skull sockets. I need a wisdom saving throw. From Serena. And she gets locked up.
No.
Okay, then we'll do top down. That one moves there. And there. Okay. So top is going to take an attack at Winrail at advantage. Well, it's not a double crit fail, but it is still a crit fail. Oh my. I'm just going to give it the fall. And it rolled a 98. This scarecrow is kind of, maybe its little like peg got super damaged with one of the blasts from Matilda, and it just can't move quite right. It falls down, and it does not have enough movement to get up. The next one down was going to take an attack at Nisha. It's also at advantage. 19 is going to be a hit on Nisha for 8 slashing, and I need a wisdom saving throw as you find your body locked up. You're being struck by this source of fear. You're not frightened of it, still paralyzed for the moment. Then 2 more are going to strike at Serena with advantage. The 22 will hit for 6, and can you give me a wisdom saving throw?
Oh no.
She is frightened.
Isn't she already frightened?
Frightened, but in a different way.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought she was I thought like the stare was the paralyzed, and
Right,
then this is
yeah.
also frightened on top of paralyzed.
It's like 2 different things of frighten, essentially. But as the Scarecrows end their turn, Winrel and Nisha both are no longer paralyzed.
Yeah. Go bad initiative.
Yeah. Nisha, becomes your turn.
Okay, so I am frightened but not paralyzed.
No, you're not frightened. You were frightened so bad that you're paralyzed, but you've kind of overcome this at this point, at the end of the Scarecrow's turn, essentially.
Gotcha. Okay, so Oh, I'm sorry. It's Serena is frightened.
Yeah, she
paralyzed.
has frightened and paralyzed, both those conditions
Gotcha.
currently. The paralysis will actually over kind of cancel out the frightened anyways, but. But it is your turn, Nisha, and you're not paralyzed.
Alrighty, I will. I will. I will pull out from underneath my sleeves just a bit of kind of a silky looking string, and I will cast a web in the tree line here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna cast it here because I should be able to attach it to the trees so it doesn't get dissipated. And I'm gonna expend 1 sorcery point. I'll expend 1, 2. I'll expend 2 sorcery. I'll expend 1 sorcery point to give Serena and wait, aren't the puppets destroyed? I was a little confused by that.
I don't think they were outright destroyed, but they got damaged. They recover after a long rest.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna expend 1 sorcery point to give automatic success on just the first saving throw for Serena and for Ada Puppet, because I think they're the only 2 in range right now.
Okay, cool.
Unfortunately, it doesn't really help. Web's one of those ones that, since it's persistent, they will have to make continuous saving throws, and this careful only helps them with the first one.
Okay, that's totally fine.
I will also kind of I guess I won't shuffle backwards because there's someone in melee range, but you'll see Nesia be very uncomfortable with the overall situation.
A massive web comes out and kind of gathers around most of the fighting force. Winrel, becomes your turn.
All right, I'll go for the a disadvantaged fellow. That's his, I guess, on the ground.
Cool, go for it. That's a pretty neat macro.
Yeah, unfortunately, the GIF I had selected apparently is no longer available, so I'll need to fix.
And what are you targeting the prone scarecrow with, Winrel?
I was just, what are the grayed out ones near Serena?
Oh, they're just they're greenish, so they've taken a little bit of damage, but not a ton of damage.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah, like yours is kind of orangish and has the red dot, so it's been hurt pretty bad.
Okay, I'll just swing out. I was just seeing if I wanted to do something with my bonus action, but I don't think so.
And you have advantage too if you want to try for the crit. Definitely still a hit as you smash into it with your magical mace, or your mace blessed by Saloon. It's still kind of holding together as you kind of break part of its body, splinters flying up.
Okay, I will pass turn.
Do you need me to do the done button, or are you able to find it? Cool. Dimitri, becomes your turn as you see what the current state of affairs.
Alright, and Serena looks like she's still paralyzed.
Oh yeah.
Then I will move in to. First, I'll move to here. Not there, sorry. I'll just move up a bit. Use one of my attacks to reload, and then use the second attack to fire at the scarecrow right there.
Uh, 13 is a hit.
On the one that's already damaged right to the north, and then I'll continue my move to there and use a bonus action to stab out at the scarecrow with the
As you
the
kind of like
dagger of venom.
fully move into this webbing, try to move through it. I'll need a dexterity saving throw to see if you can
Right.
Yeah, you're able to navigate just fine. It's still difficult terrain, but you don't get restrained by the webbing.
Then I don't think I could make it. So that change. That was 5 feet back. So that'd be 5, 10. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to make it. So I'll just do that, and then I'll throw the dagger then as a bonus. I'll throw one of the non-magical daggers.
Cool. As you toss it out, maybe the webbing is kind of just difficult to aim with, and the dagger gets caught up in the webbing and doesn't strike.
Alright, in that case, that is my turn.
Serena is paralyzed and is frightened, and the restrained, the webbing thing won't be a factor for this turn. Scarecrows are gonna go. We'll start towards the top. That one's gonna stand up. Those two are just gonna do the same thing again. Well, actually, one of them is gonna try to stare into Winrel's eyes, as Winrel just kind of smashed it. It channels all of its magical rage. I need a Wisdom saving throw, Winrel. Yeah, you're not terrified by it. The next one down is gonna try to slash at Nisha at normal. 22 is gonna hit. I need a concentration save for the web and a wisdom saving throw for the claw. Yeah, you totally keep concentration up on that spell. But you were absolutely terrified of this scarecrow. Being at the edge of the screen makes these tokens use. There we go. Okay, the next one's down. I mean, this is how they fight. One of them has to make a dex save. No, two of them are. No, just one of them. One of them is in the webbing. Oh, I should actually have made the one with that one over there needs to be in it too. Those two. I've totally. Let me roll dex saves. Here's dex saves for the top two, near Winrel and Nisha. The top one would have failed. The bottom one. Top one would have succeeded. Bottom one would have failed. So it is restrained.
Well, my DC is 16 though, so they
Oh,
both.
thank you. They both fail. I'm just gonna add the
And then if you fail, it stops movement, right?
right.
So the bottom one wouldn't even be able to get up from prone.
That's right.
Well,
Or
also,
the top one, I mean, sorry.
And they would be a disadvantage. 18 would still hit.
18 still hits, but I'll use my reaction to shield myself. So you'll see when you'll see Nisia kind of fling both of her hands forward. Probably the first time you've seen her hands not inside her cloak, and a magical barrier will protect her for that.
Nice. You can take back that 5 then, 5 slashing. And sorry to make you waste the 20. Here is the dex save for the one north of Serena. It is also restrained. All right. The other two are kind of outside it just enough to not be. They're gonna. So the one that is restrained will attack at normal. 8 is a miss. The other two will attack at advantage. Both are still misses as they try to hit Serena, but they're aiming at her armor and not her flesh, and miss horribly. That is the Scarecrow's turn. At the end of their turn, Serena looks totally fine again. She kind of gathers her senses. Your turn, Nisha.
Sorry. Sorry, new character still looking. You'll see her just reach her hand out, and she will point at the one closest to her and cast a Ray of Frost. And that's a disadvantage, right? Because of it's in melee range.
But normal because they're restrained, so it kind of bounces. Yeah. 22 is definitely a hit as you smash your ray right directly into the point blank Scarecrow.
Since it looks like it's tangled with my web, I will take this opportunity to take a step back away from it.
Okay, yeah, and it's restrained. Does the webbing prevent reactions? I don't think it does.
No, I don't think so. Just speed is 0, disadvantage on dex saves, and attack rolls have disadvantage. Attack rolls against it have advantage. So no, yeah, you can still take an AO.
So it'll slash at you, but at disadvantage. 8 is a miss.
Whew, that's a good dodge. All right, perfect. So she'll kind of back away, very, very, very timidly.
Elward kind of comes to you. I see that we're attacking these inanimate, these random objects. Poor puppets, in my opinion. Ada, destroy them. Ada kind of opens her jaws and aims towards the one north of Serena. And hits it. And as the firebolt strikes into it, you see that it kind of lights. It does some serious damage as this fire strikes into this dry creature. But it's still up. And then Elward kind of commands Irina to kind of not get near the webbing, but do her best. She kind of sidesteps the webbing and moves up to there. And she will attack with her short sword. And hit. And that's Elward. Winrel.
Okay. All right. So, I think realizing she underestimated this fight a little bit, going to cast Searing Smite.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And hit the same one.
Go for it. That is definitely hit. You have advantage too. Whether or not you crit, it'll as you kind of strike into it with your blazing mace, it just erupts into flame and dwindles down into charred little ashes very quickly.
Okay, and that will be all.
Dimitri.
All right, gonna fire at the one north of Serena.
That is a hit, and you obliterate that scarecrow.
Sweet, got a point back. Next, I will. I'm gonna move. I have to roll dex to see if I can, because I'm technically. Do I have to roll if I'm moving, or roll? Just roll if
Yep.
I'm in it.
Yeah,
When
you
you
have to
enter.
roll if you start your turn.
Okay, I'll roll. Sorry.
Oh no! As you get wrapped up by the webbing.
That's all right. Disadvantage is 16 still a hit. So I think it would be a normal anyway, because I think he was stuck. So
Yeah, it would still be normal. Yeah.
Then I won't move. I'll just take a shot at the one in front of Winrel.
Go for it. That is a hit for sure as you blast into the scarecrow.
Now that we're both restrained, it doesn't matter. But that is it for me. Yeah, that's it for me.
Serena's turn, as she can act. She can automatically save on her saving throws since your careful spell. And what does she do?
She mad, so she's gonna take her rapier and drive it into the one to the left of her.
It's
Uh-oh.
not restrained, so be normal.
Did that not pop up?
It didn't.
Crap. Okay. Shoot, something's wrong with the character sheet. Let me reload her character.
Yeah, that is certainly a hit. 22.
Alright, so I'll do the damage on the first one, and then the crit fail for the second one. Man, I am rolling for Serena, I'm sorry, I'm rolling like crap for you.
Yeah, go ahead, fumble. 55 just hits it as she kind of stabs into this scarecrow. Maybe the fear kind of retakes her, and she stumbles a bit and is stunned. Oh no. Alright. That's Serena, I guess. Since she's stunned. Go ahead and push the done button when ready. Scarecrow's gonna go. Let's see, this one next to Winrel is gonna go for broke. It'll attack at Winrel, disadvantage. 5 is a miss. The next two are gonna focus in on the disadvantaged individual, which is Serena at this case. They'll attack at advantage at Serena. 21 will hit for 7 slashing. Don't worry about the wisdom save. The stun will cause her to overrule the frightened. But that is the Scarecrow's. Your turn, Nisha.
Oh, sorry. It was just the 7 slashing.
7 slashing.
All right. Seeing her webbing potentially causing more harm than good. Nisia will look towards Serena, and she will cast a ray of frost at the Scarecrow to the left, directly kind of over Serena.
Oof. That is a hit. Do you describe the kill as this ray of frost blast into the Scarecrow?
So you'll see her kind of glancing over the battlefield, seeing it, just kind of reaching out that one finger and conjuring the arcane energy from the palm of her hand, shooting out the kind of that like I'd like to think it like freezes the Scarecrow in place, and then maybe even kind of shatters as it like slowly is like coming down to attack Serena. And it comes to a halt, and then you hear kind of the ice start to crack and then break into a couple of pieces.
Nice. Anything else on Nisha's turn?
I was about to say I was going to second win, but nope, that doesn't work for me. So, no, actually, Nisia will kind of just give a nod towards Serena and.
Elward goes. He kind of shimmies Ada around a bit, and then Ada unhinges her jaws and fires at the unhurt one, kind of fully trusting that Winrel can handle the other puppet. Sorry, my Irina puppet. There we go. Sorry. The character she got all whacked up. Yeah, Ada unhinges her jaws and fires out. 16 is a hit. And once again, as the firebolt streams across the field, striking directly into the Scarecrow, delights with quite a bit of spark. And then Irina kind of sidesteps over here and goes to cut into it. You kind of see Elward leaning out with his left hand as far as he can towards Irina. The short sword is a hit. Dealing 5, and then it becomes your turn, Winrel.
Alrighty. I will go for another Searing Smite.
Yeah, go for it. You have advantage on the attack. Ooh, describe the kill.
Just the mace just on fire, just comes down smack dab like in the middle of his head, and then just kind of like it just like blows out from there.
Nice. The scarecrow head explodes with a fiery burst, and it becomes your turn, Dimitri. As you have one last scarecrow.
Let's see if I'm restrained again. Right, it's every turn.
Right. Still restrained.
All right. So these are gonna be disadvantage against that scarecrow. Then take 2 shots.
That is a hit, and describe the kill.
Oh, nice. Yeah, this one's just like the final, like through the head, and any like wood or anything holding it together just like explodes out the back of it as it just falls into a pile of just garbage on the ground.
Nice. Indeed, as the last one falls, Elward kind of looks to you all. Why are these giving you so much trouble? They're pretty easy, simple creatures.
Serena will stand up and kind of dust herself off, looking down at her feet and still seeing like kind of the web entangling her a little bit. Like, excuse me, toward Nesia, and Nesia will. I think I can actually. Can I dispel it? I think I can.
Yeah, you can just drop concentration on it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, Nesia will kind of wave her hand, and the webs will slowly kind of start to lose their stickiness and just like kind of plop to the ground. Very hard.
As you get a look at the ones that are still a little bit intact, it's almost like a bit of worms kind of come out of the ones not burnt to a crisp and kind of dig their way into the earth.
Like a lot of worms per scarecrow, or just like one per scarecrow?
Oh, a good many, a good chunk of them, like probably 100 each.
Oh, okay.
But only about 3 of the scarecrows aren't just utterly obliterated.
Right.
A can of worms each of them.
All right. Well, that was fun.
But each of you can take 300 experience for that. I'll add it to Elward's sheet, and Serena, if you don't mind adding to Serena's, Dave.
Yep. Yeah, I took care of Serena.
Yeah, okay. That's our random encounter for the day.
Nesia, as we're kind of cleaning it up and heading back the road, Nesia will make the comment. You lot appear capable. I would have liked seeing you at full strength.
Yeah. Well, Jensen was quite formidable. He usually kept things at bay, while some of us others. I mean, Serena does a perfectly fine job of it too. She actually took on a Vistani assassin all by herself.
That is impressive. I look forward to seeing more of your abilities in the future.
Yes, it seems like you have some tricks of your own.
When one grows up in Barovia, one must learn all the tricks they can in order to survive.
Glad those tricks are on our side right now.
Serena nudges Winrow. I think I like this one. And the kind of continue walking.
Yeah, some good party development, little banter. Thank you. Nisha, roll a d20 for our nighttime encounters. See if you can random nighttime encounters. Nope, nope. Our long rest will go uneventful, as maybe you kind of hear like a flocking of ravens kind of swarming above you once again. Um, no warnings this time, but maybe that was a bit of peace. Yeah, you guys can benefit from a long rest. Dimitri, do you mind rolling a d20 for our random encounters the next day, as we get back onto the main Old Svalich Road?
Yeah.
It's very good that we are on the main road, because if we were still in the woods, it would have been an encounter.
All right.
All right. Yeah. We go back across the Raven River crossing, kind of a beautiful bridge. The guard posts that were manned are still unmanned at this point as well. The corpse actually kind of still there, a few kind of rotting away. Others looks like carrion have kind of eaten upon them, but mostly left undisturbed. This is where we can make it to tonight. Winrel, roll another d20 for me for random encounters for night. Another uneventful night goes by as we rest up, kind of recant some of our stories and thoughts about what's gone down recently. But we're to pick up off. Nisha, another d20 for our next day's random encounters. Another good day of travel as we make it to Crake.
Sweet.
As we approach the gatehouse this time, even as we approach, you see the guards shout and whistle and wave. A bit of a smile upon their face. Maybe you even catch the bit of a red stain on one of their cheeks. And they open up the gates as you come through. Hail! Heroes, bringers of wine! Welcome back to Crake, a joyous place. Well, until our wine runs out, that is. But welcome. The Baron and Baroness is in their house, just down the way. The first house, you can't miss it. I'm sure they'd be happy to greet you. There's not much else to offer. There's the smith and the tailor's shop. There's the oddity store as well, but I'm a bit nervous to go in there. And if you're a religious sort, the abbey is reopened. The abbot might take you, but he's a bit selective in his guest.
Oh, thank you. I think our first stop will be for the Baron and Baroness.
How are the children? Do you know where they are located?
Oh, you see him go a bit more somber, and you have. Well, I guess you have just returned. Well, I'm not the one to tell you. Their adoptive parents really should be the one. They were having quite a bit of fun, though. Yeah. I'm so sorry. And he kind of looks a bit shocked. Yeah, Dusk Elves are totally fine, in fact. You can maybe see one of them like look a little bit odd, eerie about it, but it's more like maybe that person's just a jerk. But unlike Vallaki, Crake is not opposed to Dusk Elves.
Okay, so Winrel goes like immediately pretty angry. And like pushes forward towards the house they indicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Cerrito would be probably close on Winrel's field.
Yeah. Geez, same with Dimitri.
As you kind of enter the town, the Burgomaster's house is kind of right here at the very entrance, the first house that they pointed out. But as you kind of enter through, you see that the town itself, more towards the center over here, you notice red, green, and blue flashing lights bouncing off low-hanging clouds coming from the town square. The smell of sweets, grilled foods, along with the faint notes of a pipe organ, dance on the air. Some kind of carnival or festival is going on over there. But as you approach the Baron's house, this mist-shrouded village beyond the wall, outside the festival that's going on, is nothing more than a scattering of humble wooden cottages along dirt roads stretched between stands of snow-dusted pine trees. So many trees. In fact, almost to constitute a forest. It's not so much of a village as a walled forest. To the northeast, gray cliffs rise sharply, and the road winding up to the abbey is easy to see from this vantage. And I think I have some art for you. Oh no, I think I already gave you the yeah, totally already gave you the break art. That's what it looks like, but it's very picturesque. But we will head straight to the Baron's cottage. Ooh, this map is small. Yeah, Serena would still be with you at this point. Elward's kind of mumbling under his breath, but he comes along as Winrell, you come to the most humble cottage of all. It's not humble of all. The nicest, the largest cottage of all. It's still quite a bit of a humble building. There's a bit of a farm, kind of a vegetable garden behind it. The door is closed. It smells like something's being cooked inside. You kind of hear two voices talking, muffled voices behind the door.
I'll knock very, very loudly.
Dimitri, get the door. Someone's here.
Oh, that's right. His name's Dimitri too. It confused me.
Dimitri comes up to the door and opens it. Ah, welcome, friends. Please do come in. Well, we were expecting a bit of guests, but not necessarily yourselves. Come in, come in. Anna, we have guest. He gestures you into the home, the abode. It's a pretty humble abode. It seems to be well stocked, as you see a bare rug with tables, kind of sitting space, a big fireplace, a dining table full of meager food, but pretty yummy looking food, a washing basin, but generally your normal kind of cottage supplies. Looks like towards the southwest leads into a dining room, kind of kitchen area. A humble bedroom to the southeast. This cottage is 2 stories.
The children. Where are the children?
You see Anna kind of wince a bit, the Baroness, but Dimitri kind of steps forward.
And
Oh,
when we're all, like, ignored the husband completely and just like walked right up in the face of the Baroness.
in that case, Anna, she kind of scoots her seat back and stands up. Well, I promise you, I meant only good. It was a bit of childhood nostalgia, in fact. Yeah. I believe you will hear more soon enough, but I'll tell you what has happened. Have you heard of the carnival master, Happy Jack? I knew you were friends of that Rictavio, the one that came with Vasily. But, have you ever heard of Happy Jack? I was quite fond of him as a child. He came to Crake when I was but a girl, and I remember the sweets, the candy, the music, the funhouse. It was such a delight. If anyone wants to see if they know what Happy Jack is, you can give me a history check.
I'll pass. I can't imagine I would have heard of them in Barovia.
Needs a roll only because she has had some interaction having grown up in this time.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you've been in some of the big
And
cities
rolls
like
like
Waterdeep or Baldur's Gate, you have a chance as well.
I'm not even proficient in history, and I have a 0. So
Okay, cool. Yeah, and none of you have heard of Happy Jack then. And no one kind of seems to recognize this name. Well, Happy Jack arrived a few days ago, and I was carrying his normal sort of surprises and fun. Quite colorful, you see. It was all stored in this satchel. I'm sure it's quite magical. And as you saw, we don't let many into the village. But the children had just come, and they were so heartbroken and traumatized. And, well, our children as well. Ilya would have loved it. I wish Ilya could have experienced it, even if, well, what happened happened. She seems quite choked up at the name of Ilya, but she goes on. You see, he's quite joyous. He came in, we let him in. We hoped he'd bring some cheer, and he did. We waved and he laughed and he tossed small candies to the youngsters. I had never seen them laugh so much ever since they came. But yeah, he set up shop in the center of town. The food booths were opened and quite tasty, even if a bit too fried. There was brilliant lights and music, and of course, the funhouse. Well, the carnival master that came with Vasily, Rictuvio, saying that he knew a bit about these things, offered to escort the children for a day as we worked, and watch over the children as they played with Happy Jack's Funhouse. But, you see, they never came back. And since then, strange things have been happening. The pigs in town have been slaughtered randomly. Been sightings of bestial men walking around at night. Strange, awful things. It's been about 3 nights, and we have not heard anything from Happy Jack or the children.
Vasily took them to the funhouse.
Rictavio did. We had trusted him. He seemed like a upstanding man and a carnival master himself. But whatever happened, the crone, she calls herself Reaver. She works that pipe organ with her little monkey. I've drilled her, but she doesn't seem to understand what I say. I think she's quite mad.
So Rictavio went into the funhouse and then they never came out.
That is correct.
Has no one gone into the funhouse?
The parents have tried. The Reaver let them in, but they told awful stories, horrid stories of what they saw inside. In fact, we are actually to have them over for dinner tonight. I was going to discuss with them what to do next, and to hear firsthand what they all had experienced.
Where is it, and where is Happy Fun Guy?
I suppose he must be in his funhouse as well. Ever since the children and Rictavio entered, I have not seen any life to the place outside the food vendors, those mechanical things, and as well as that Vistani crone that seems to work for Happy Jack. Oh, and her monkey.
Where is the funhouse?
Well, we call it the town square, but it's mostly just the most cleared part of town. It's a bit to the north of here. I'm sure it's still in operation, if you wish to see for yourselves. The parents should be over any minute, though. The food is ready, if you wish to dine with us and hear from them.
She'll just storm right out. She's going right straight there.
I'll follow Winrel.
Okay, cool. Serena kind of speaks up. I think I will hear what happens first. And then I do have other things I must see. Please, be sure to make sure you find the children. If you need me, I will be at the fountain, the shrine of the White Sun. Elward kind of nods and just follows you all. What does Nisha do? Does she go with Winrel and Dimitri, or do something else?
Yeah, Nisha will have listening kind of just by the door, just standing there very quietly, kind of like Drax trying to be invisible sort of thing. As Winril and Dimitri storm out, she'll look at Serena and Elward very sympathetically, and I'd like to think Serena might even kind of like give her a little like head nod like toward the door, and she'll give a nod and she'll kind of slowly follow after them.
Cool. Yeah. So as we make our way to the center part of the town where the actual fun is happening, you come into this little carnival area. You see carnival-style food stands located around the square. It looks like the vendors include cotton candy, well, feather candy, sweet dogs, sticky corn, candied apples, and deep-fried fruit pies. Each of these vendors are kind of operated by these mechanical, faceless humanoids, almost like robots. You see coin slots at the bottom of each of the food stands. There's quite a bit of lights and noise going on, but the lights are kind of emanating from 3 large animated barrels on the ground near the funhouse. They rotate and shine in bright colors, colorful lights in the sky. But standing out to you more than anything is this old crone of a Vistani woman. She's kind of behind an organ grinder. She's slowly twisting the handle, the crank, and it's peeling out this joyous noise. And she has a little monkey kind of riding on her shoulder. I have some, let me give you the images of what they look like.
Sorry, what was that? Dave was talking right in my ear.
I'll give you the image of what they look like. Oh, let's just do this. Sorry, just trying to get there.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, sorry to pile more on. What time did we arrive in Craig? Did we travel most of the morning and get there by like late afternoon?
It was about midday. We only spent about half the day's travel. We were almost there.
Okay, cool.
There's what the Vistani crone looks like.
Ugh.
And there's Feebles the monkey.
Now, is she like in captivity, or like, I mean, is she chained up or something?
She's not chained or anything like that. She's kind of standing behind this organ grinder and just slowly twisting the wheel, the crank, as like the music comes out. Just behind her, though, is an odd-looking minecart carved and painted to resemble like the head of a dragon. It sits on a metal rail just behind the organ grinder, but the rails seem to lead to nowhere. As you approach to closer to the old Vistani Chrome, she kind of calls out, "Ah, come one, come all! Enjoy the Funhouse, a bit of fun. All are welcome. Ah, have fun in Happy Jack's Funhouse. The best time of your life."
Did I get the sense that anyone had entered the funhouse other than the parents since the disappearing?
Yeah, the way, pretty much what Anna was saying is that the first to try out must have been Rictavio and the 8 children, and then the parents got worried and tried to find their children and went in as well, but came out telling horrible stories, and no one else has dared to go in yet after that.
Gotcha. Okay, that was my assumption.
Like the worst city guard ever, right? Like, hey, some children and a guy disappeared, and the parents are all freaked out. It's like, yeah, they're fine. Like, let's not lock anybody up. We're good.
Oh, you get the idea. There's not much of a city guard. Like, outside, like, the 4 people working the gate, there's very little. Most of these people are farmers and, like, gardeners and stuff like that.
Okay, so Winrel, up in her face, how dare you let people in here? Where are the children?
Ah, children are so fun, so happy, so young. Yes, the Funhouse is great for them.
Just escalating. I'll clearly be getting angrier. Just like shouting about the children.
As you shout, you kind of see her turn the organ grinder faster and faster, and she's kind of smiling and laughing as she's having quite a bit of fun, it seems like.
I'll
Dare you try the carts?
straight up. I'll be shaking from anger now, and I will halfway transform and claw her in the neck.
As you go to transform, I need dexterity saving throws from all of you. And Elward will be caught off guard. I'm just not going to roll for him. But I'll need dexterity saves from Nisha, Dimitri, and Winrel. Those all fails. As you get ready to transform, she's just been, you've noticed that she's kind of cranking this wheel faster and faster and faster. The monkey is kind of clapping some cymbals in his hand faster and faster until the point of bursting, and outburst out of the organ grinder these 4 massive black tentacles as they wrap themselves around you and drag you into the cart. And as you get slapped into the cart, you get locked down and twisted into this ride of hundreds of yards of rail looping and rolling, and hammerhead turns and corkscrew drops, high-speed curves as you roll all around the town and straight for the Happy Jack, the clown face mask, and into this funhouse. And this
isn't a spell, right?
It's kind of a spell, yeah. It's magical for sure. Why?
I have advantage on saving throws against spells cast by creatures within 5 feet of you.
Okay, yeah. If you can roll another dex save if you like.
It doesn't seem like it's gonna matter, but
Nope, it's not a save. Sorry. Let's. I don't have the art in the game, but I'm gonna give you what this thing looks in Discord. Yeah, there we go. That's what it looks like you enter.
Oh boy.
as you come to the end of the mine cart, the roller coaster ride, you come to this odd stage with a sign to your left blinking, exit, exit. And anyone with a constitution less than 15? Do we have anyone with a constitution less than 15?
My constitution is 14.
Yeah, same here.
I need a constitution saving throw
14.
then, from all of you.
I'm gonna inspiration on this one.
Same for me.
Go for it. You all pass. You all are sturdy people. Roller coasters are your bag, and you enjoy the ride. This is what what looked like when you got ripped into the cart, by the way.
Where did that pig come from?
That's just an example. But there were quite a bit of pigs in the town of Crake. Yeah, so as you come up, the lighting is kind of low, but not too bad. This whole place is pretty dilapidated and looks abandoned. You see clusters of old advertisements and flyers and mildew. A Happy Jack's face is painted on a sign above the double doors to the north. So what you see as you kind of come up to this area, the cart pulls up to a wooden dock, allowing you to exit the vehicle onto a platform. Red velvet ropes lead the way to a waiting room. A large white crate painted with colorful polka dots rests in the center of the room. Cubbies, dusty and abused by years of guests, sit empty along the west wall. Two small doors and a large door are found along the north wall. A painting of a clown hangs above the large door. A paper banner dangles from its teeth and reads, "Welcome to the Funhouse." Along the east wall, two wooden tables covered in loose papers are divided by another door with a sign above it reading, "Only Happy Jack's personnel belong beyond this point."
Are these trapdoors?
They are, yeah. You see two trapdoors kind of in the northwest, and northeast part of the room.
Are the red things, are they like line, velvet line?
Exactly, like line dividers. Like you could easily go under or over. They're just like little poles, kind of with red velvet rope, kind of showing you the waiting line.
I'll go over to the desks here and rifle through the papers and see what's going on. See if I can find anything that seems important.
I'm gonna as he's starting to walk away, I will cast guidance on Dimitri.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me an investigation check with guidance, Dimitri.
Right, the 4. So 15.
Nice. Yeah, you rifle through the stuff. Something that does stand out to you is this advertisement, this Funhouse Gallery advertisement, and on it, listed below, are some. They're described as new workers at the Funhouse, and they're in this list.
What did you find? Anything?
It's a list. Oh, there it is.
Akshi, Survivor and Tracker Supreme. Biggs, No Fish Can Outswim His Cast. Kova, Magician Extraordinaire. Lucy, the World's Best Baker. Maverna, Classiest and Sassiest. Thalon, An explosion of fun. Shaliki, she'll take your voice away. Windig, no truant kids on his watch. Rictavio, carnival master extraordinaire.
I found a list of all the children's names with Rictavio on it, but it doesn't. I'm not really sure what's going on here. They're saying that they're Survivor and Tracker Supreme. It's very strange. I'll walk it back and show Winrel.
All right. Well, no time for messing around. I'm gonna cast resistance on myself and head straight for the
Yeah. So as you get to the trap door, there is sorry, just double checking. Oh yeah, as you open it up, it looks like there's a ladder that leads downwards about 20 feet. Do you want to go down?
Yes, please.
All right, and as you go down, we'll pick up after our break. As you step on the ladder and see what's below.
All right.
That went so fast.
Yeah, we will pick up. Let's see, 40 minutes past the hour. Welcome back, everyone. Any questions before we move back to the funhouse and Winrail stepping into the trap door of traps? Cool. All right. Well, we'll get right back to it. What you see, Winrail, as you kind of move down the ladder a bit, you come to this a bit of a shaft, and you're going to see probably about chest height this 5-inch circular diameter, 5-inch diameter circular hole that kind of trails off to the north. But outside that, it's just kind of a little cramped crawl space that you've descended on this ladder. But you can look back up like the 20 feet and you see the trapdoor above you still open.
I don't see anything actually. It's all dark to me.
Oh yeah, sorry, let's do this. I'm gonna move most of you back to the where you're at, and I'm gonna move Winrail to the correct.
Oh, gotcha.
Do you see where you're at, Winrail?
Yeah. I mean, I can't see anything, but yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty dark down here.
Oh shoot.
Do you want to do anything as you're in this cramped crawl
I
space?
do. Sorry, I quit.
As she descends the ladder, what does Nisha and Dimitri do?
Nisha will just kind of talk to Dimitri. Your friend is quick to tempt.
I'll try to pull out a torch and light it.
Yeah, you can totally do so.
Yeah,
We can try that cool new macro. Select your token and click torch on. Do you see that, Winrel?
Yeah, I quit again. Sorry, I'm trying to play left-handed. Let's see.
Oh, no worries. Go ahead, Dimitri. I'm sorry.
no, it's all good. Yeah, kind of as Dimitri's walking over to the trap door. Excuse me. He'll look back. Excuse me. Oh my God. Sorry. At Nisa, and well, she's very passionate about, especially children. She's very passionate about. So we it's a bit of a story, but the short of it is we rescued these kids, and now they're in danger again.
And with your torch lit, you can kind of see a bit farther down this little pipeline of sorts. It's 5-inch in diameter. It looks like it goes for about 20 feet, and your torch kind of illuminates this, and then cross sections at a T, turning left and right. But it's quite tiny. In fact, you'd have to be tiny to move through it.
I'll try to reach my hand in there and feel to see like if the walls are actually as narrow as it appears with the light.
Yeah, it is. Just gonna move your hand into the hole. It feels a bit damp and earthy, but you're able to do so, and it feels like a solid surface. Maybe as you kind of draw your hand back, you get a weird, you kind of like almost like this soft papery substance kind of comes back on one of your fingers, kind of caught. It looks like almost like a dried skin of an animal. You give me a nature check if you'd like. Yeah, maybe you can tell that it's a snake. It's like a discarded snake skin, but nothing else other than that.
Kind of move over to the trap door and see Winrel do stuff and be like, what's down there?
Nothing? Like a snake hole? So there's no, I'm at the bottom, right? There's nowhere else to go?
Yep, you're at the bottom, and you see this little 5-inch diameter hole.
If I stick my torch in the hole, is there anything I can light on fire?
As you kind of stick your torch in the hole, maybe it kind of flickers a bit as it like scrapes across the damp earth, but no, nothing catches on fire. Maybe like the bit of like snake skin kind of burns to a crisp for a moment, but it kind of goes up in a second. And outside that, nothing else really.
Okay. I guess I will go back up.
Okay, cool. You able to reascend the ladders and come back to the waiting room of the funhouse. So you see your companions kind of look at you expectedly.
I just shake my head.
This is the door that this is the basically employees only.
Yeah, it says Happy Jack's personnel only. And the double doors is the one with like the welcome and the face of the clown over it.
All right, and this is like some big crate.
It's a big box with polka dots all over it.
All right. Well, first I'm gonna walk. I'll just look at Winrow and be like, well, we can't really do anything down there. We might as well choose a different direction. Go to the door and have a listen.
Yeah, sure. Give me a perception check.
Sure, there's music and stuff going on too.
There's a bit of a sound, but it's actually eerily quiet. But I've got some kind of fun carnival music going for us, though in Roll20. Wow, yeah, it's pretty good. As you kind of listen beyond, um, you hear like it's mostly silent, but you hear just the smallest sound of almost like snores, like a little bit of snore, and then a moan and a cry, but really soft.
I'll wave at everybody, and then like draw my weapon, and then point at the door.
Maybe as you do so, and you kind of wave and you turn and look, you see Winrel get quite close to this box over here on this side, and as she does so, the box bursts open, and out this little hippo comes screaming out with a big sign in its face, and this is what it looks like. Welcome to Happy Jack's. And you do see like the hippo has a name tag on it too.
Like an actual hippo or like an inflatable?
An actual little hippo. Like a young hippo.
What does the name tag say?
It looks like it's kind of covered by the sign. You'd have to get kind of close.
I'll get close.
As you get kind of close, the hippo tries to nibble at you.
I'll growl at it.
But it does not hit as it tries to bite you. As you...
Hippo lycanthropy? That's a thing? I want it!
Bubby misses. Then you growl and it kind of whimpers a bit, and you see that as it like kind of whimpers underneath your growl, you see that its name tag reads Bubby, B-U-B-B-Y.
I don't think so, Bubby.
How curious.
Okay, so even a baby hippo's hundreds of pounds, right?
It's a pretty hefty. Yeah, it's pretty hefty. Its size is medium, but it's pretty hefty.
That picture with the size of the box on the map and the picture, it makes the hippo look huge.
Yeah, the box is 10 foot by 10 foot. So like the imagery and the map is not quite accurate, unknowingly. But yeah.
Would I be able to recognize that it has some type of lycanthropy?
Maybe. Give me a nature check. Yeah, maybe Bubby should be like that. It says it's a medium creature, but the art makes it look like it's a big creature.
That's like it's really bursting out of that box.
Yeah.
Oh,
Winrella is not very smart, is she? Intelligence-wise, wisdom-wise, obviously very high. But yeah, maybe. I mean, this is something in your wheelhouse. As you kind of look at the little hippo, something strikes you in its eyes and its hunger. It still seems to be pretty friendly, but you kind of get a sense, maybe were creature to were creature, that something's off about this hippo.
I'll give the new girl a shove, and say, "Careful, it's a were," and I will start to transform if I can,
Yeah.
and just be up in its face, like come right up to its face and growl at
It definitely kind of like cowls a bit. Give me an intimidation check. Bubby is quite stubborn. Maybe it still cowls a bit. It's still like you can tell it's nervous, but it's very stubborn and not necessarily scared of you. And it tries to nip at you again, but misses. You notice it's kind of a half-hearted nip.
I'll just stand in place, hoping these other idiots move.
A word kind of approaches to. Was there something you wanted to show us?
You deaf new girl? Unless you want to become a hippo, move.
Nesia will slowly take a couple of steps back.
Bubby kind of, as he sees like others move, kind of gesture the sign at you all as well. Welcome to Happy Jacks! And then kind of like settle into the box a bit.
I'll move towards Dimitri, like backward. I'm having trouble with the flipping my side.
Oh, I updated your token with the new art and it has messed it up.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry. Yeah,
That's okay.
I'll have it fixed before next session. But yeah, we do have your nice
No
new
problem.
token art. But yeah, that messed up the multi-side token. I'll have that updated next time.
Okay, so yeah, I'm a hybrid and backing towards Dimitri.
We'll give you that rage token. Dimitri, did you open the door? Or did you want to open the door?
I was going to after gesturing, but then the hippo burst out, so I just kind of sat there like, all right. But now that everyone's like backed up, I was kind of like, kind of gesture at the door again, and then still have with my weapon drawn, go to open it.
As you open it up, and you see down this dusty corridor, there's a couple of closet doors kind of lining the room, bit of storage bins and such. Looks like the corridor extends for a bit and leads to more storage.
All right.
There's no light in this room, in this corridor, except from the ones coming off Matilda.
All right. The whole hippo thing kind of already made some noise. I will like to move stealthily down this hallway.
Yeah, sure. Oof, you're completely silent. In fact, your friends kind of even check their ears to make sure they're still working, as they see you moving but can't hear you moving whatsoever.
And then I'll just kind of like gesture at them, kind of like hold back for a second type of. I just kind of like wave my hand at you guys, and I'll move to this set of doors and take a listen at each one.
It seems pretty silent here. Either one of these doors.
Okay. Then I'll move down to these two and take a listen.
As you get closer to these ones, you kind of hear through the south door. It's a bit louder now, but it's like soft snores, almost like fitful moans and cries that seem to come from within.
All that from this one door?
To the south, like through the door to the south.
Okay. Do the moans and sighs break up the snoring, or are they happening at the same time?
It's gonna get something like, stay away, so much, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay. I would like to open the door quietly and just take a peek in.
Yeah, as you kind of peek in, you see the exhaustion and battered form of a sleeping human that lies crumpled in the corner of this otherwise completely and empty, remarkable small storage closet. The snores and moans and cries coming from this occupant, who is obviously having some terrible, terrible nightmare. As you look upon this pretty young man, it strikes you as almost like you've seen this person before. Do you want to give me an insight check?
He seems familiar, like the picture seems familiar, but I'm not sure if that's just because it's from a different game I've seen it, or we saw it earlier in this one.
Pretty large, jovial-looking fellow, except the nightmare.
Oh my god. I'll use luck on that one.
Okay, go for it. Wow. It's 20 or a 1 apparently for you. Yeah, you recognize, maybe think for just a moment, but you're certain this is the large boy named Thalon that that was friends to Windred, and he almost got left behind, but as the support from his friends and you all kind of kept him going, his spirits going. He really struggled with the hard march through the cold, but now he's all grown up and sleeping and having a nightmare here, and looks quite battered and exhausted.
Man. So you said it was Thalon.
Thalon. Oh, not Thalon, no, just Thalon.
Oh boy. Because his thing was an explosion of fun. Which I don't know if it means if he's gonna explode. Yeah, you wanna know what? Screw it.
I can give you a bit of description if you want, as you kind of look over him. He's male and obese. He wears a metal barrel around his waist. You kind of see that maybe he has like a pirate kind of paraphernalia on him.
Alright. I'll give him like a little shake.
Let me sleep. Go away.
Is your name Thalon?
No, don't bother me. I'm whoever is not having to work right now. Leave me alone. I'm sleeping.
Thalon, it's Dimitri. We rescued you earlier.
Yeah, I said leave me alone, man.
Would you just please come out?
That done is. And he kind of steps up and like shoves his head straight for you. Roll initiative.
Okay. I guess it's an explosion of temper.
Well, the others can roll initiative too if you're so inclined. So the first round will be the first round will just be Dimitri and Dallin, but yeah, Winrail will be going first on a normal round. Dimitri, you see him kind of stand up and he's getting ready to like headbutt you essentially. What do you do?
I will disengage and move out. 5, 10, 15, 20. Move out, and as I'm moving, I'll be like, and just say real quick, I think this is one of the children, but I don't know why they're all grown up. He looks like that Thalen boy. And I'll move out of the room, hallway, and then
And that's it.
yep.
So Thalen will go. Thalen kind of stomps the room. As he gets here, he kind of sees you, and his eyes red just with rage. Kind of stomps the whole time he's running towards you. This one, he stomps really hard onto the ground and like jumps into the air and aims his head straight for you. Oh, sorry. And like tries to smash into you with a headbutt. Dimitri.
All right.
Oof. That is a good thing that didn't hit. But as you kind of dodge out of the way, Thalen kind of rears up, getting ready again. Normal turn order now. Winrel, it's your turn.
Okay. Um. I will. I will just try to knock him unconscious with my paw.
Yeah, non-lethal damage. Go for it. That is a hit as you smack into Thalen, and he gets dazed a bit, but is still enraged. Let me sleep.
Oh, I don't have a button.
Oh, the API got messed up. I don't know why that. It's okay. Dimitri.
Yeah, I guess let's see. I'll take out a dagger, the dagger of venom, and I'm just gonna use it. The pommel end, also to try and knock him out.
Oh yeah, cool. Go for it. So you won't be doing poison damage, but you can do the yeah, the normal damage.
Yeah, it's just the best dagger I have. So.
Makes sense. Pretty nice dagger. Yeah, you smack him and with a pommel in.
So it'd be I guess it would be 7 bludgeoning then, not piercing.
Yeah, we'll call it that. Non-lethal.
And yeah, non-lethal. And I'll hit him again. Or try to hit him again.
That time is a miss, as you kind of smack him once, and then you're trying not to hit him too hard, but it kind of gives him an advantage to dodge. 9 is a miss.
Oh wait, and then I forgot to roll a sneak attack on the first one.
Oh, nice. Go for it.
I meant to do it on the first one. Anyway. Yeah, and then that is... Yeah, that's it.
Elward is going to take kind of the clue from and kind of shuffle over. So we're keeping this one alive. All right. And we'll try to smack him with the kind of the flat end of his sword. And does so. Irina would have hit harder. And then he ends his turn. Thalen looks quite enraged. he scoots back a bit, kind of rears backwards. Do you
Does
want
he
to take some
provoke
attacks?
attack?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, non-lethal again.
That is a hit. Winrail, did you want to take an attack opportunity? Elward will. Ooh, that's a big hit, Elward.
Yes.
Feel free to do. There you go. 14 is just a hit as you smack him with the brunt of your paw. He's still up though, and he charges forward with a cry of pain, and jumps once again into the air and tries to smack into you, Dimitri, for waking him up. 10 is a miss again. Nisha.
Oh, give us 1 sec for baby adjustment.
Help us knock this grown-up kid unconscious. Everyone's beating on this poor dude who wants to sleep.
Overworked dude. Do you want us to hold out for a second, Nisha, or?
Oh yeah. Sorry, we had to adjust the baby location because he was awake and decidedly not wanting to be awake anymore. So we had to move room.
I see. It sounds a lot like this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So seeing, I guess I would probably see everyone trying to take like these like pot shots and back hilt of swords and daggers at this man child of a kind of a creature. So I'm going to, I'll hold out my hand a bit with a little bit of with a little drop of some sweet oil on my fingertips, and I will cast suggestion.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And so yeah, it's a DC. Was it Wisdom? I think.
He fails. What do you suggest?
So
What?
so I will say, be at peace, boy. Please go get some rest. We shan't bother you any further.
You see him like kind of lock his arms up and begin to like turn back towards the storage closet. Oh, yeah. Is anyone gonna attack him as he turns and gets ready to walk away?
No.
No.
Elward might. No, I'm picking. You see him stroll back down the hallway and back into the closet, and you kind of hear after a second or two, you hear the soft snores and moans and cries once more as he continues his nightmare.
That was an explosion of fun.
I take it you know that child? Man? I'm not sure.
That it looks like one of the children we rescued from the werewolf camp. His name is Thalin, and I swear that's him, but I don't understand why.
My friend, that was no child.
I know that's no child, which is the weird part about it. But I am 100% that is Thalin.
How long ago was it that you left the children here?
maybe a week.
I sense there must be sorcery afoot.
Unless time might work different in this funhouse. I know when we first got here, we met Rictavio, which we found out later is really Rudolf van Richten. But outside of Barovia, Rudolf van Richten's been missing for 50 years. And according to him, he's only been here in Barovia for 1 month.
The
So-
magics of time dilation are strange. I suggest we be on our guard. How many more children did you leave, aside from the boy?
There were 7 in total. Or 8 in total. So 7 more.
Howard kind of mentions, pocket dimensions within pocket dimensions within pocket dimensions. We could not have been gone more than a 10-day. Interestingly, it is the full moon tonight, but I wonder if we'll get to see it now.
Well,
If your desire is to save these children, I suggest we make haste and find the rest, lest we should find an escape ourselves.
can we not leave where the cart came in?
You haven't tried yet.
True. Now let us see what else is down here. I will walk quietly past Thalen. I saw more doors on down the way.
Did you check these other doors?
There
The
were
first
no
one.
there were no sounds, but I can check them out. I'll move in and open up the south door. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll transform back to a person. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Instead of Wolfie talk, as you kind of empty, it's not empty, but it's kind of a pretty boring supply closet with unused stuff and scuff marks and shabby, banged up walls. Do you mind rolling a D2 for me, Dimitri? Since my API is off, I'll have to do this manually. But yeah, if you don't mind, roll a D2 for me, please, Dimitri. /R space D1D2.
That's why I wasn't working. My number lock was off, and I wasn't hitting any.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of just nothing really that stands out interesting in this one to you.
I'll open the cell phone.
Cool. Roll a D2 for me again. Nothing this really stands out to you in this one either.
I'll
Just
move.
another empty supply closet.
Move quietly past Thalen's, so I'll roll.
Nice.
I'll roll a stealth.
No, you can keep it the other one. I mean, me sleeping heavily under suggestion. You're fine.
Okay. I'll open the top one then.
Yet again, you come to another supply closet and roll another D2 for me. Yet again, there's nothing too interesting here.
Not gonna find anything at this rate. I'll move over here to these two and have a listen at these two doors.
Pretty quiet. Nothing really standing out. As you move down the hallway, you would see the corridor also turns to the north a bit. But as you move down, you see that not much is going on here much in those other doors.
Right. I'll Since I didn't hear anything at these two, I'll open up these two doors.
Go ahead and roll 2d2. One finally has something.
I was about to say, what are the odds that I roll friggin' 6 ones in a row or 5 ones in a row?
The same odds each time you rolled it. 50%. As you kind of look around the south room here, the south closet, it's mostly junk, but one thing stands out to you. A crocodile teeth necklace.
I'll grab it, I guess.
I'm gonna stay here so I can see up the northern.
Oh yeah, and you can turn your torch back on. I'm sorry, I think it got turned off.
I'll move to these last two and have a listen.
It might not work. No! All the APIs screwed up. I'll turn that back on for you. There you go. As you listen at these doors, I don't think... pretty quiet, both these two.
Alright, I'll open the north one first and then this out.
As you open the north one, what you see is kind of another one of these closets, but it contains a box with 20 uncannily carved wooden humanoid figures. Each of the figurines are unpainted, but contain extremely lifelike expressions and articulated limbs. They're designed so well, it's hard to imagine they aren't alive. You also see paint buckets and paintbrushes of several colors stacked nearby. All the stuff in this room appear to be in pretty good condition.
Playing D&D in D&D.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll leave that alone for now and open the south door.
Roll a d2. Hey! Let's see, this one. This one is fairly empty, but what you see inside, quite interesting, is a dead bee. A dead, we'll say honeybee. Kind of lying in the middle of the floor as if it just died all of a sudden lying there.
Yeah, that's weird. So I was typing stuff in. I'll look back at the group and just well, there's nothing else down there. There's that room at the end. Oh wait, there's one more door. I didn't even see that door. Sorry, never mind. I'll take a listen at the door at the very end of the hall.
Yeah, go for it. It's pretty quiet beyond as well.
I'll open it up.
What you come into is quite a strange thing. You see a reflection of man looking right back at you with a gun and a light kind of flaring off the gun. And it looks like he's quite nervous with a scary mask and hat. But then you kind of gather yourself and you realize you're looking directly into a mirror. In fact, every bit of the wooden walls in here are lined with a reflective mirror. You look kind of to the north and to the south, and it bends around, and every single wall is covered with a 10-foot tall mirror, and the ceiling is 10 feet up as well, and completely covered in mirror. Your light from the Matilda kind of bounces around, reflecting off all the mirror.
All right. Well, there's nothing else in these rooms, and we have a hall of mirrors at the very end.
Sounds like that's back into the funhouse. Let's try this way.
Right.
As you continue up, you see another door to the north and to the east, Winrel, and you also see kind of a bit of an odd room to your west. There's a sign lying near the entrance to that room to your west that reads "Costumes." As you look about, your torch illuminates thread, yarn, and twine of all colors and shapes that crisscross the room, creating a thick web of colors. However, the floor has been ripped up, exposing a large hole in the center of the room. So this large hole, but completely kind of covered in a webbing of yarn and twine and thread.
I'm gonna try to light the thread on fire.
Yeah, you totally can. It begins to kind of burn. How much do you want to do that?
I mean, I guess a decent amount. Try to see if it'll burn basically all of them.
Yeah, it looks like the yarn begins to burn, the wooden floor and the dust kind of begin to look like they're going to catch on fire as well. Do you want to continue to let it burn?
No. So the thread over the wooden part, not just the hole.
Yeah, so like the thread and the yarn and the string are kind of attached to the walls and the ceiling and stuff, and are crisscrossed all across this hole in the ground.
Gotcha. Was I able to at least burn like a clearing? Right.
Yeah, you could burn like a little bit of a patch, and as it kind of spread to the walls, you kind of stomped it out. It looks like you could kind of go down the hole if you so wished to descend down there. It's just a big hole. There's no ladder or anything, but it kind of descends into darkness.
Do I see like a rock around or anything I could just pitch down there?
There's some rubble, and there's some stuff back in those old storage rooms, kind of rubble and loose wood and stuff. Balls of yarn, balls of thread and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll try to find like a box or something so I can gather how deep it goes.
And you're going to drop it down the hole? As you drop the kind of the ball of yarn and rubble and stuff down the hall, you hear a bit of a kind of a surprise kind of gasp from below.
Wow, who's down there?
You don't hear anything. Nothing. No response.
I'll drop the torch down.
As you drop a torch down, you see kind of an inanimate creature of sorts, a multi-armed sessile mix of scrambling hands, needles, and thread. She looks almost like a human and a spider mixed together, but the face, the colorless eyes kind of stare up at you, and then goes back to kind of motionless. This is what it looks like. But you see costumes and things in the room kind of strewn about. Even kind of maybe the torch kind of lies upon a sign along the west wall that reads a sign that says "The Stitchling, Trinket Exchange Recipes."
That's a pretty cool artwork. Kind of
Hmm.
half whisper and just, who is it?
Ah, just a strange creature. I guess it trades good.
Oh, you see it kind of animate just a bit, and then stamp out your torch. But then it goes back. You kind of see maybe like as the torch kind of dies, it just kind of sits there in the room, inanimately.
And it was like was it one story below?
Just one story full, about 20 feet down. You kind of notice as she goes inanimate that she folds or crisscross folds her hands in front of her.
Okay. I don't think we want to go down there. What's on your side, Dimitri?
Don't know. I just backed up a little bit in case. But I'll take a listen at the door.
It's quiet.
Open up the door.
What you see beyond is another pretty large workspace. It contains mirror panes, suction cup glass lifters, buckets of glue, hammers, nail planks, plywood sheets, and other things. And but two things do stand out to you. The two things that stand out to you, kind of on the northern table and one on the southern table. The northern table has a 6-inch tall porcelain collectible figurine of Thalon. Not Thalon. We'll say someone else. We'll say Shaliki.
Like Shaoliki when she was a kid, or Shaoliki like
Shaliki
adult?
as a kid.
All right.
And on the southern table, you have a hippo tooth.
The 6-inch tall Shaoliki porcelain collectible. Yeah, I'll kind of move in and grab the 6-inch tall porcelain figurine of Shaoliki, and then just kind of stare at it, and then look at Winrel, and then kind of like hold it up so she can see it better.
You don't think she's in there, do you?
I don't know. I don't know what any of this is. I don't know why this is This is all very, very strange. I mean, she could be.
Well, let's bring it with us and carry on.
I see another door here.
Yeah, you do. Anisha, you'd see a door to the north, and Dimitri, you see a door to the east.
So I'll move over here, have a listen,
Once again, pretty quiet.
open it up.
Maybe surprised once again, you see a figure of a scary tall man with a gun pointed right at you, but then you realize it's a reflection once more. As you look into a hallway full of mirrors once more.
I think this is the mirror maze from earlier. Why don't we go back out the other way?
All right.
So yeah, so I'll grab the hippo tooth on the way out too. It's just strange that it's here too.
Okay, I'll move up north. Give it a listen.
Pretty quiet again, beyond.
I'll open it.
Oh. As you open the door, you see a terrible vision of a wolfy-looking woman standing over a dead body. But then you kind of gather yourself, and you realize that it's your reflection. But there's actually an unmoving human corpse that lies on the ground. Next to it is a unique-looking metal wand with a wooden handle and a leather shoulder strap. Fastened to the shoulder strap are 6 small red tubes with copper caps. You immediately notice what this is, Dimitri. It's a rudimentary firearm known as a boom gun. And the individual looks like a kind of a female adult with spectacles. I have a bit of a description for you. She's female, withered, wears a headpiece full of focusing lenses. Looks like she's kind of well read, and you kind of see that she has ink upon her fingers, and she's tinkerer tools on herself, on her person as well. You can give me an insight. Looks like this person you've recognized as well. The corpse.
Me or Dimitri?
Either one. You totally recognize who this is, and you kind of look down at the porcelain figurine in your hand. This is an adult version of what Shaliki would look like if she had grown into a human adult.
Man.
Evidence of maybe your influence of the boom gun lying beside her.
Oh yeah, she said she wanted one of those.
That makes me sad.
I'll just like turn back and look at Dimitri like just like a mixture of angry and sad at the same time.
You see, like, this Dimitri's shoulders, like, kind of slumped, and like, kind of, like, still kind of holding the porcelain figurine because he was still getting that stuff situated, and it's just kind of like, holding it down, and I'm just really, this is. Well, this has to be some sort of trick.
I'll walk in. Does she have a visible like bullet wound?
Oh, no visible bullet wound. You want to give me a medicine check to see how she died? Yeah, you look her over, and there's no physical evidence at all of how she died. Her body looks actually like very well kept. There's no scent of like any sort of trauma whatsoever upon the body. Maybe you give it a good check over doesn't even like feel or look like there was any kind of internal trauma that caused her death. It's a bit of a mystery.
She is dead, though.
You
Confirmed.
totally tell she's dead. Yeah, 100% she looks to be like a dead human corpse.
Can I estimate how old I would think this person was?
Yeah, she probably was in about her 20s, mid-20s.
Okay.
About how old was she? Would we last met her?
She was like maybe 10 at max, somewhere around 8 to 12, but probably about 10. As you kind of look in this area, you notice that when you had looked at the mirrors before, your reflections and distortions were kind of thinnish and kind of distorted to look like smaller looking thinner. And here you look quite big and fat in your reflections here in these mirrors.
I'll turn back to Dmitri. I should have turned them. They would have been safe.
They may, yes, but they didn't. They didn't want it. It was the right choice to not force them.
They're children. They didn't know what they wanted. They were just scared.
In my experience, lycanthropy is no better life than living in Barovia itself as a child. You could have not done any more.
I'll turn away and go up here.
As you get to about right here, you hear like a bell and like a little chime kind of go off, and this purplish gas kind of sprays up all around you. I need a wisdom saving throw, Winrel.
Okay. Would my guidance still be active?
No, not for this.
Oh no, up to a minute. Yes, definitely not. Definitely not.
That's totally fine. You kind of move through the gas, and totally fine. Nothing happens. But as you do look kind of farther into the room, farther into you see corridors upon corridors of mirrors to the north and to the west. As you look farther down the hallway, kind of for a few feet, about 10 feet, your distortion is kind of fat and large, and then farther down about 15 feet and on, your distortion is skinny and thin again. There's also kind of a thud, thud, thud sound emanating from the northern part of the hallway.
Does it sound like it's getting closer?
No, no. Demetrius, you look towards the east, you see more mirrored halls that kind of multiple paths, and as you look down the east way, your distortion also kind of switches from fat and large to thin and skinny.
Alright. I'm following you, Winrel, so.
You see Elward pick up the boom gum and the red shells. This could be useful. It looks like Matilda, but better.
So you said this was just like pipe?
I'll show you what it is, because I mean it looks like a boom gun. You would know what it is as a firearm master, dude. That's a primitive shotgun. That's what it is. Perhaps you could explain it to the rest, essentially.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like when you described it. I thought it was like a legit, like just like a pipe.
Oh yeah, that's how I would have described it. I gave you extra. I mean, I was reading off the notes, and then I gave you extra because you would have noticed what it is. Where like most people would have not have known that was a gun. So I read what the description is, and then I added the boom gun part because you would have known what it is.
Oh, okay, because I was just like, oh, it just sounds like. I mean, it sounds like. At first, I was like, oh, it sounds like a piece of junk that she made because she had to because she was in here.
Oh no!
Like
Yeah.
I didn't realize it actually looked like a shotgun.
Yeah. So like, if you don't have a gunsmith in the group, you would just read it. It's a unique-looking long metal wand with a wooden handle and a leather shoulder strap.
Okay, it makes more sense. Yeah, I mean, if Elward picked it up, he could hold it. If I'd known it actually looked like a real gun, I probably would have picked it up.
I mean, Elwood's not too attached to it. He just is like examining it because he's also a tinkerer.
Right, I'll just. I guess I'll ask if I can inspect it a bit. I didn't really think to do
Finders keepers. Sorry, Dimitri.
that. All right.
That was a joke. I'm feeling a bit fun. Something new. This place reminds me of childhood. And then he hands you the boom gun over.
I'll grab it and kind of chuckle and be like, "What? Did you get trapped in a creepy ass death house when you were a child?"
And if I had, you wouldn't be feeling so smart, would you?
No, I mean, I feel the same. It just means you were smart enough to get out of that one, and perhaps that experience could help us.
Look, you all might be comfortable with sharing your backstory and the traumas you've experienced, but I will hold on to mine.
I'm not asking you to share your backstory.
Only if Serena was here, she'd understand.
Serena is a good listener.
So what is that thing?
Continue forward.
As you continue along to the west, Winrel, you see another door. It's going to follow the mirrored reflections. It also looks like the mirror maze kind of continues to the north and east.
So I saw Winrel step on this square, and then gas came.
Yeah, do you want to kind of look it over a bit?
I just kind of want to hop over it.
Okay, yeah, you can do that too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just hop over.
oh, I'm back.
As you hop through the space, the gas goes off. And I
Do
need
you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you for a bit if you were talking.
Yeah, I like dropped for a second.
That was a wisdom save?
Wisdom save. As the gas, you kind of breathe it in and choke, and you feel your body kind of get sluggish and slow, and you kind of hit the ground just beyond, and you feel a lot heavier, and you make a bit more noise when you hit the ground, and your feet are a bit clumsy. In fact, you kind of look in the mirror, and then you look at yourself, and you no longer look very distorted, but you actually look fat and large. You're a bit taller and much heavier. You've put on about 50 pounds.
Does he look different to me?
He does, yeah. He looks like he's been eating way too many Twinkies.
Whoa.
Well, this is unfortunate. I don't think I could do that.
Yes, look.
I don't think I could do that voice and a British accent at the same time.
Wade doesn't have to change your voice. But I
I
love
know.
the try. That was amazing.
I just figured the extreme weight gain of 50 pounds in 1 second would maybe affect it a little bit.
It might even be more extreme. It could even be like 100 pounds, but I feel like 50 pounds would have been a lot on Dimitri.
Yeah, Dimitri's not really that big.
I'll try to listen at this door.
It's totally quiet.
So with this, do I have disadvantage on things now?
I'll let you know if anything changes. But as
Alright.
far as you know, nothing's changed yet.
Oh, Dimitri. Blind. Fat.
Elward is gonna kind of look over this spot of that keeps happening. Any ideas, Nisha? I don't want to look like Dimitri. I wouldn't want to look like what he normally looks like, but especially not now.
I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with this type of mechanism.
I read once that elves had good eyes. Is that true?
I heard once that all humans were stupid. Is that true?
Well, most of them, yes. Well, I believe I take more after my elven parent, not my human parent.
Just pop around the corner after Nisa's comment and be like, "Brr."
So Nisia will reach out her hand and let a spectral mage hand kind of float forward and float forward past where she saw Dimitri be dosed.
Yeah, as you do so, the spectral hand, your mage hand, is not like what you normally would expect. Or maybe you're used to it. You've lived in Barovia for quite a while. Instead of a spectral hand, it's kind of like a spectral, ghostly skeleton hand that comes out. And it's kind of, you're used to the way that Barovia distorts magic. But as the ghostly skeletal hand comes out, the trap doesn't activate.
I'll dismiss the hand into a puff of kind of smoke. I guess I will inspect for traps, just for not really knowing what else to do.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
All right, totally my forte, guys. I'm super good at these.
As you kind of look about, you kind of are certain that something is there, but you don't see any mechanism that's activating the trap.
And we saw the trap go off with both Winrel and Dimitri, like the exact
Right.
same trap in the exact same.
Like, it went off even though I jumped over it, right?
Right. Yeah, you saw Dimitri jump through.
Alright, hold on. I guess I'll give it a perception check and see if I can figure it out. Nope, never mind.
Elward just okay, fine, and steps through, and the gas comes out again. And Elward steps through unchanged. Oh, thank goodness. I was going to have to make an Elward puppet.
Yeah, but maybe they have more gas later on that makes you lose weight.
I sure hope so for your sake.
Yeah, me too.
Anisha, it's okay. Oh, does Anisha follow or no?
I think she's gonna. I think she's gonna sit tight for another moment and just kind of contemplate what she wants to do.
Okay, cool. And Winrella, as you kind of listen at the door and kind of had a bit of time to think about this, yeah, there's almost no noise comes down the way.
Do I still hear the thumping?
Oh, yeah, so you all would have kind of heard thumping coming down from the northern hallway, just beyond the gas trap. So it's kind of getting fainter as you move down that way, but you would still hear it kind of thumping from back towards the north. Kind of like a muffled, almost like a knock, like a thud, 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 thud. It's not like following any sort of rhythm or anything like that. It's kind of sporadic knocks.
Alright, I'll open this door.
You open the door and you see a bit of light and no mirrors. Yeah, it's wooden walls painted with zany, wacky carnival nonsense, jumping unicorns, hippopotamuses, metal constructs, candy and balloons. There's kind of carnival lights, half burnt out, of various colors kind of lining the walls. They give a bit of dim light. It looks like this wacky painted passageway goes a bit to the west and then turns south.
Hmm. I'm starting to get weary of becoming lost, Dimitri.
Yeah. Yes, I'm, well, right now I can recall where we need to go back, but, the farther we go, the harder it will be.
As you continued along the passage a bit, you see that the floor begins to slope up in a passageway to the west, right here, kind of slopes up at a 40-degree angle. But just towards the bottom of the room, you see this 5-foot tall by 5-foot wide window is set in the middle of the wall, kind of right here. Condensation covers the other side of the window, allowing for only a hazy view of a completely mirrored room. A distorted and unrecognizable humanoid figure concealed by the haze moves within. Figure kind of pacing along the interior of the room through this condensation.
I'll like hold my finger to my lips, like turn back towards Dimitri and Elward, and just wait and see if it paths in front.
Yeah, maybe you kind of stay and kind of wait as it through. And it's difficult to see through the haze, But you see this like half snake, half woman-like creature kind of come into view. That's what you see. And you do see just outside, outside the mirror, kind of right here on this wall, is a button, a red button.
Hmm. Does she keep walking?
Yeah, she's kind of pacing her.
Following? Okay. When she's out of sight, I'll like usher them back and like back out of the area.
As we back out of view of this strange and befuddling creature, we will call session.
Dun dun dun.
Dimitri never got a gift, but he did gain 50 pounds.
No. Sorry, Dimitri.
That's all good.
Are you guys having fun in the funhouse?
I am extremely confused.
I'm super bummed out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Shaliki.
The one I ended up giving or caring about the most is the first one we find.
But we got to see how you inspired her while she was alive. You made a boom gun. Touched her spirit.
Also, how much ammunition came with the boom gun?
Six pieces.
6. All right.
But you got all week to practice Fat Dimitri.
Oh, that's gonna be a tough one, man.
It was just the 300 experience tonight, right?
Oh shit, I was terrible at awarding experience. I'm so sorry. Let me kind of look over it real fast, and I was a little out of practice. Because it definitely wasn't just that.